Orson Scott Card Speaker for the Dead isn't your typical science fiction sequel. If you're coming off the high-octane thrill ride of Ender's Game, you might be expecting more intergalactic battles or, at the very least, a rematch with the buggers. But no. Instead, Card hands you a philosophical mystery set on a backwater planet populated by religious colonists and tree-worshipping aliens. If that sounds like a hard left turn, it is. But stick with me, because this detour leads somewhere profound. We find Ender Wiggin 3,000 years after he unknowingly committed xenocide and became the galaxy's most infamous war criminal. But time hasn't exactly passed for him. Relativity is a strange beast, isn't it? He's still carrying the guilt of his youthful decisions, now moonlighting as a speaker for the dead, a sort of wandering eulogist who uncovers the truth about the lives of the departed. It's like CSI meets opera, but with fewer lab coats and more existential dread. Ender's latest gig takes him to Lusitania, a planet with some serious issues. The human colony there is ruled by rigid Catholic dogma. The alien Pequeninos, or Piggies as the humans call them, have customs that make human sacrifices look like birthday parties, and the Starways Congress is breathing down everyone's neck, threatening to quarantine the whole operation. It's a powder keg, and Ender's the guy with the matchbox. But this isn't just a sci-fi whodunit. It's a story about understanding. Card doesn't give us cardboard aliens who are there to shoot lasers or steal our jobs. The Piggies are alien in every sense, culturally, biologically, and morally, and it takes real effort to understand them. The humans on Lusitania, equally complicated. They've got secrets, grudges, and sins that Ender has to unravel to uncover the truth about a mysterious death. This book is as much about anthropology as it is about aliens. We'll start wondering if Card has a secret degree in sociology. And Ender is no longer the child prodigy we knew. He's older, wiser, and so weighed down by guilt that he could anchor a starship. He's not here to save the day with clever tactics or zero-gravity battles. Instead, he's here to listen, to dig into the messiness of other people's lives, and to hold up a mirror to humanity's flaws. If Ender's Game was about the burdens of leadership, Speaker for the Dead is about the cost of understanding. The themes here hit hard. It's a book that forces you to confront some uncomfortable truths about morality, empathy, and what it means to coexist with people, or species, you don't understand. There's no easy resolution. Card doesn't tie everything up with a neat bow. Instead, he leaves you with questions. Questions that might keep you awake at night if you're the introspective type, or just mildly annoyed if you were hoping for another round of bugger blasting action. The pacing, though, let's talk about that. This isn't a page-turner in the traditional sense. It's slow, methodical. At times, it feels like Card is holding your hand and saying, "Now, let's really think about this." For some readers, that's a feature, not a bug. For others, it might feel like wading through molasses. But when the revelations hit, they hit hard. Like a piggy ceremonial ritual, sudden, shocking, and profoundly unsettling. And while we're on the subject of unsettling, can we talk about Card's writing style? It's clean, thoughtful, and occasionally brutal. He doesn't waste words, but he doesn't shy away from the grotesque either. There's a scene involving a piggy and a tree that I won't spoil for you, but let's just say you'll never look at your garden the same way again. Card's knack for blending the sacred and the grotesque is both unnerving and deeply effective. He's like the sci-fi version of a preacher who also moonlights as a mortician. But the real brilliance of Speaker for the Dead is how it flips the script on its predecessor. It's less about heroism and more about reconciliation. Less about winning and more about listening. It's a sequel that takes a huge risk by doing something completely different, and for the most part, it pays off. It's not perfect, the pacing can be glacial, and some of the philosophical musings might make you want to hurl the book across the room. But it's worth it. If you're a fan of science fiction that challenges you to think, to empathize, and to question your assumptions, Speaker for the Dead is a must-read. Just don't expect another Ender's Game. This is a different beast entirely. It's quieter, deeper, and dare I say, more mature. So, should you read it? Absolutely. Should you reread it years later and discover new layers you missed the first time? Definitely. It's the kind of book that grows with you, revealing more as you bring more of yourself to it. And if you're anything like me, you'll walk away from it with a head full of questions and a heart that feels just a little bit heavier. If you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Did Speaker for the Dead leave you awestruck? Or did it have you longing for a simpler tale of bug-bashing glory? Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep questioning everything.